Ms. Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time we have the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes Maurice figure. So yeah, so here you go. So these new figures came out. I was very conflicted whether to buy them or not. I did enjoy the first movie, but I'm not like a big Planet of the Apes fan. But when I saw these figures, they looked really good, and this was the one that I wanted the most. So when I saw them in the store, I decided to go ahead and get them, and I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah. So, of course, the box is pretty neat. It gives you that feel for the new, kind of quarantine type of thing. Looks pretty creepy and crazy stuff happening. You kind of got a picture of Koba there, I believe, as well as Caesar. It's obviously the name of the movie. And then the three figures in this series, Caesar, Koba, and Maurice. And collect them all. Nothing, no information about the movie or anything in the back. But yeah, I do want to get Koba, and I'll probably get Caesar. So yeah, we'll see about that, though. Alright, so here's the figure. It's Maurice. Overall, I really do like this guy. I liked him in the first movie a lot for some reason. He was probably my favorite character, favorite monkey from the first movie. I don't know, he was kind of nice, peaceful, but he also could fight pretty cool and everything like that, so overall, I really did like him. This figure is really just great, in my opinion. As far as just the sculpting, it is just beautiful. I mean, look at that. Really, the amount of detail that went into this figure is absolutely stunning. And I love the fur. The fur is absolutely cool. I just did this monkey, has the very long hanging fur, and I think that it translates so cool into toy form, which is just really nice. You can see, I like the way that they did his like waist or chest swivel, or it's kind of like a ball joint actually, but it's like a separate layer of fur coming down up here, and then it comes down more over here. Just really neat. It's just, where the joints are, there's just layers of fur that cover the joint, so it kind of, isn't in your face, which is nice. But it also just looks really good. And I love the arms, how you've got all this fur hanging down the arms. It looks so realistic. The sculpting is absolutely fantastic. The amount of detail is just great, and then the paint on top of it is really something special here. I do definitely like it. One thing that I don't like is that when you swivel his head, his like neck is attached to this type of rubber kind of piece, which maybe is accurate to the animal, but it does scare me that it might rip or something. So I definitely wouldn't want that to happen. It's kind of annoying that that's there so that it could happen, and that is kind of disappointing. His feet are kind of neat, how of course the monkeys have kind of like the hand feet, but these are kind of like smoothed on the bottom here and on this one toe, so it kind of allows you to stand him up pretty well when just looking at it. You wouldn't think that he'd be able to stand too great, but overall he does pretty nicely. He comes with one accessory. It's just a red book. The red book, I mean, it's sculpted nicely and whatnot. You can fit it in his hand. He doesn't hold it like great, but like you can just kind of jam it in his fingers there, and then he looks good holding it and whatnot. That's only my only complaint, I would say, that he doesn't really come with much. I would have liked a weapon or something. Of course, we haven't seen the new movie, so it's hard to say if he will be donning any weapons. But he rides a horse in the new movie. And then he does use a lot of the books, so maybe in this new movie he's more of like a teacher for the tribe, and that's probably what's going to be the case, which is why they gave him a book. But I would have liked like one type of weapon, because in the first movie he did use one of those like pot covers for the streets of the sewers, and he used it to throw it at a cop car and break the windshield of the cop car. So just something like that would have been kind of cool, because accessory wise, just coming with a book is a little uninteresting, unfortunately, but still looks very nice. He does seem to be, although ready to fight, he does seem to be more of a peaceful type of character, which is kind of neat. I mean, he looks so realistic with all this detail. There's so much to look at when you look at him, which is really neat, and which is why I love him. I do like this type of monkey too, I have to say. Like, there's just this type is really neat looking, in my opinion. Articulation wise, pretty good. He's got a swivel neck. Of course it is connected to this piece, like I've been saying, so it is hindered a bit. It doesn't move 360, but still fine. He's got ball hinge shoulders, which are pretty nice, have decent amount of movement. Ball hinge elbows, so like a swivel up here as well as a hinge. Overall pretty decent. He's got ball jointed wrists, which is nice. He's got a ball jointed kind of upper torso. It's mostly just a swivel, but you do get some up and down in there too. You've got ball hinge thighs, which standing up straight are like this, but I like it where it's kind of like out and then the bent knee. I think that he just looks more natural that way. And then he does have a hinge swiveling knee. And ankles, yeah, it's a ball jointed ankle. So overall, he's got great articulation points. None of them are just completely free-moving, 360-degree, type of joints. They all have restrictions, but there's enough of the joints that it really allows you to do a lot with him. So overall, I really do like that. The one thing that I do, well, I've been saying the one thing, but one thing that I don't like about this figure is that it does seem to be chipping on paint a bit, and I believe that that's in just like the thigh area where there's joints, stuff like that. Because I do find when I'm posing him that there'll be little chips of his paint around. I mean, there's a couple very small ones right here, but when I first got him, there were some slightly bigger paint chips, which was definitely very disappointing. But when I examined him, I really couldn't find where they were coming from, and I'm not quite sure if that's just because the mixed colors and all the detail makes it very hard to see that, or if it's just from like the inner joints that it's happening from, and that's why I can't find them. But either way, I mean, it's really not a noticeable thing on the figure. So when you first see that, it might scare you and might be really a turn off for you, but when you actually think about it, it's really not damaging the figure because it's not going to come off of any main sections. It's probably coming off of joints, and even so, there's so many different mixtures of colors and so many different, jagged parts all over him that you really wouldn't even notice it if there was a bit of a chip like missing off of him of paint. So overall, it bothered me at first, but just thinking about it, it really isn't a problem. So overall, that's nice, and you really don't have to worry about it, even though it might be something that you might think would be a problem, but it really isn't. Overall, though, I really have enjoyed this guy. I keep him on my desk, and I just have a lot of fun looking at him because he's so detailed. He's just, figure-wise, he is a brilliant figure, even if, character-wise, he's maybe not that great, but figure-wise, he's just fantastic. Just to give you a little comparison, here he is with Cherno Alpha, another NECA project, I cannot speak, and I've completely forgotten what I wanted to say, but up against another NECA figure. So yeah, so as you can see, he is fairly small compared to Cherno Alpha. Weight-wise, they both weigh close to the same thing, I'd say, even though he's much smaller. He's got a lot of bulk to him, which is quite nice, and I definitely think that he's probably the best amount of stuff for your money with this wave of figures, because the others look quite skinny. But overall, I really do love this guy, and I'm really excited to get some more figures. The only thing that scares me is one of the things that I love about the main thing that I love about this guy is all of this great detail and all the long fur hanging down. I love it. I think it was great, and the other figures really don't have that. So it's just I still want the other figures, but I have a feeling that I'm just gonna like this guy a lot better. But overall, I am really loving this guy. Fantastic figure and a character in the movie that I actually really liked, and I might be alone by that, but I always liked his character from the first movie at least. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing the second movie, and especially seeing him in the second movie. We do know that he will get captured in the second movie because in the most recent trailer, you do see him kind of in chains. It's very hard to see, but you can see that actually. But yeah, overall though, great figure. I've really had a lot of fun with it, and this series really does look fantastic. NECA doesn't seem to disappoint, and this is another example of that. So yeah, so there you go. So that's my video review of the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes Maurice figure, and thank you so much for watching.